Welcome to the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast with your direct sales dom, Jenny Bellinger. Badass Direct Sales Mastery is a podcast for rock star direct sales moms who are determined to make their business kick ass. Jenny will share her knowledge of effective sales and recruiting techniques, tips to get what you want from your business, and will interview direct sales professionals and leaders from various companies. The interviews will give insight to how these rock stars got to where they are and where they plan to grow in the future. And now, the direct sales dom, Jenny Bellinger.
Welcome to another episode of Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast. This is your direct sales dom, Jenny Bellinger. It's been a while since I've recorded an episode of just me, just for you. And I thought it would be a good time to jump in and really begin to speak to the times. Earlier this week, I released an episode with a friend of mine, Bruce Langford, helping you guys get into a more calm mindset using his amazing Amen technique. It's one that I have really begun doing myself since he and I spoke. I've been doing guided meditations, as you heard in that episode, for a little while, but really decided to start following his lead and have been following that Amen technique almost every day, at least, 3 out of the 4 parts of it in most days. But I wanted to address with you just some ideas of how to really begin to prioritize as we're dealing with some of the uncertainties that we're going through right now. Business, for many people, what I'm hearing from many of my clients, has slowed down. In some cases, for others, it has increased, depending on the product that they sell. But a lot of people have been mentioning to me that they're not quite sure how to go about their day. So I wanted to at least start out with some basic mindset principles for you to put into action as soon as possible. And the first thing is you've got to take care of yourself. This is something I heard from my own coach at the beginning of last week. And she shared with us, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself is make sure you are okay. Mentally, make sure you're okay. Physically, take care of yourself. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot care for others if you are in a place where you are less than well. And so take care of yourself, take care of your health, take care of your mental health. Make sure you're putting you first. This is a time where our earth is our airplane, and we have just been dropped down some oxygen masks, and it's time to take care of us first. Next, take care of your family. Your family is super important. Those around you, making sure that they're healthy, because moving on to anything else without making sure that your family is well cared for, well held, is going to hold you back if you try to work on anything else. And then finally, take care of your business. Take care of you, take care of your family, take care of your business. Quite a few years ago, I heard a really great quote, and I'm not sure where it originated, and I tried to find it online, and I saw it attributed to multiple people. So I don't know where it originally came from, but basically it had to do with the fact that if you think about life as you juggling a bunch of balls, and each of those balls represents an area of your life, your health, your business, your family, your friendships, your relationships, your spiritual relationship, all of those balls. Keep in mind that all of these balls are made of different materials. Some of them are made of glass. Some of them are made of a harder material, like wood. Some of these balls are rubber, and so they bounce. And what you want to keep in mind is that your health and your relationships are glass balls. If you drop those balls, they may not shatter, but they are definitely going to be dinged, dented, cracked, and they will never be the same again. Whereas all the other balls, if you drop them, they're not going to get harmed, or at least not irreparably harmed. And some of them, like your business, will bounce back. One thing we know about history is business bounces back. Look back at the Great Depression. It was 10 horrible years for the people who lived through that. In fact, many of you probably have parents or grandparents who lived through that time and can remember what it was like to be in that Great Depression economically. But guess what happened? The economy came back. Many of you are old enough to remember the recession of 2008. Guess what happened? The economy came back. Business always comes back. That's the great thing about this direct sales business that you are in right now. You can take a step back, take care of your health, take this opportunity to grow your mind, to work on your business, not necessarily in your business, in the sales and team and recruiting and sponsoring process, but utilize this time to grow yourself, grow your knowledge, grow your information base, become an expert, even more of an expert on your product, your company, your services. Taking a look at what can I learn in order to come back? What do I need to know about direct sales? What do I need to do in the direct sales industry? Take this time to educate yourself because business will bounce back. It will come back at some point. We don't know when, but it will come back. Things will move forward. Time always moves forward, and business and entrepreneurs find a way each and every time. And if you're wondering to yourself, given this current business climate, who would start a business? What I want you to think about is if you went back and listened to episode 1 of the Badass Direct Sales Mastery podcast, you probably remember I started my business in 2010. We were in the middle of the recession here in the Midwest where I live because the recession traveled from the coasts into the center of the country. I started my direct sales business in the middle of the recession. Just because things aren't perfect right now doesn't mean that people don't start businesses. Oftentimes, it is the best time because people are willing to take a step outside their comfort zone because they are already uncomfortable. Now, some of you may be wondering, well, I've been hearing about how I shouldn't be opportunistic in this time. Part of me bristles at the word opportunistic as if that's a bad thing. Because those of us who have been in business long enough understand that there is no such thing as good luck. It is only those of us who were prepared to take hold of an opportunity when it presented itself. Opportunistic is not a bad thing as long as your intent for the person sitting across the table from you, as long as your intent for the person that you are speaking to is for their best intentions. And if you understand that your product or service may not be the best for them, even if you think it is, if they don't see it as what they need right now, serve them where they are, provide them with the help and support that you can. And when they are ready, they will probably choose to do business with you. But I can't imagine not talking about business right now. This is the time when we are working on our business. This is the time when there are some people who are probably ready and willing to take a step. But you won't know if you don't have the conversation. Now, this doesn't mean, of course, that you want to hound others, but to be there in relationship with them and offering that ear and listening to what their needs are and providing an opportunity if it makes sense. That doesn't make you opportunistic. It means you are giving to someone who needs. So I'm going to leave the episode on that for you. If you have more to say or more to share on that particular opportunistic comment, I'd love to start a conversation around that. Please join us on the Badass Direct Sales Mastery page on Facebook to talk about opportunistic and whether you think it's a good thing or a bad thing. Until then, get ready for the next kick-ass episode of the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast.
Thanks for listening to the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast with your direct sales dom, Jenny Bellinger. Why are you waiting to go to badassdirectsalesmastery.com? Don't make the dom get her whip. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to share it with another rock star that you know in direct sales after you subscribe to the podcast so you won't miss any future episodes. You can also check out the show notes for links and any contact information mentioned in today's episode. We'll see you next time.